It's time for another Trope Count, where we count all the traditional small-town, hot cocoa romance tropes in a Hallmark Christmas movie. The goal? Find the movie that racks up the most tropes. Will it be today's film? Well, let's find out. A great Hallmark Christmas film must fit the Hallmark feel-good formula. It's a genre of film with repetitive movie tropes that we all love. We will identify the tropes in the 4 trope categories: story, character, Christmas, and activity. It's all very scientific, and it's fueled by hot cocoa. Today, we take a look at the 2022 Hallmark film 3 Wise Men and a Baby, starring Andrew Walker, Paul Campbell, and Tyler Hynes. If you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, borrowing the title from the original 80s film, a woman who just needs a break abandons her baby at a firehouse, where Luke and his brothers care for the child, take him to see Santa, dance to the Nutcracker, put on a light display show dressed as wise men, accept excuses why the mom abandoned her baby, and all 3 brothers fall in love at the end, until the sequel. Today, we have a special guest narrator giving us a synopsis. Bran from Deck the Hallmark. So grab some Christmas cookies, stick a candy cane in your mouth to look cool, and let's count the tropes that make up 3 Wise Men and a Baby. Take it away, Bran.
Thanks, Joe. Let's dive in. We open with a view from Seattle, transitioning to a suburban neighborhood in the Seattle-adjacent Canada. Luke, played by Andrew Walker, is shirtless. He's psyching himself up in the mirror, calling himself a warrior. And as a man, looking at him makes me feel inadequate.
Coming, Mom!
His mom yells at him that he's going to be late for work, and nothing kills a warrior vibe like a grown man being yelled at by his mommy. That's right, all 3 wise men still live with Mother. Barbara, played by Margaret Collin, was Rebecca in the 80s film 3 Men and a Baby, starring Steve Guttenberg, the Goot, Ted Danson, and the stash-blessed Tom Selleck. The movie inspired the name and premise of this movie, and let's be honest, neither Andrew, Paul, Tyler, Joe, nor I can pull off the Tom Selleck stash. Look at it. It's gorgeous. Barbara serves up breakfast and a Christmas memory of her 3 sons sitting on Santa's lap. Meanwhile, Taylor, played by Tyler Hynes, sways into his job at Funin Games. He's too cool to dress for the Christmas party unless you count a glowing reindeer pin, a clear attempt to rebel. Taylor's ex, Fiona, points out that the reindeer pin he's wearing was a gift from her mom.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. She attempts to warn Taylor of a change to the artwork that David made to the game when David interrupts. Placed on top of an alien world graphic is a snowman holding a sign that reads, "Coming soon for Christmas." Not being a team player, David fires Taylor. He attempts to Jerry Maguire his colleagues, but nobody joins him.
Who's coming with me besides Flipper here?
With Kevin the Elf telling him, "Nobody likes you."
Nobody likes you.
This is embarrassing.
Paul Campbell plays the 3rd brother, Stephen,
Stephen, hi! Or is it Stefan?
a pet psychiatrist. Yes, that's a real Hallmark job. And his client, Susie, arrives early, carrying a dog in one hand and a fruitcake in the other. Stephen is going to diagnose why her dog is so lonely around the holidays. That night at dinner, Barbara asks Taylor to decorate the house with his brothers when Stephen arrives home with the fruitcake and casually drops the news that Taylor got fired.
Quit? Or...
This leads to the brothers making fun of each other when their mom yells at them to stop and get into the Christmas spirit. All Barbara wishes for is one more Christmas like they had when they were little, decorating, making cookies, and giving us a second Christmas memory trope. At the firehouse, yes, the same one from the Hallmark film The 9 Lives of Christmas, because they only have one in Hallmark's Canada, Luke hears the doorbell and discovers a baby sitting in the entry hall. Attached to the kid is a note addressed to Luke from the baby's mother, asking him to care for Thomas and promising that she will return by Christmas. Luke, the chief, and the other firefighters are like, "Sure, let's not call Child Protective Services tonight. They aren't open this late. Hate to break it to the first responders, but that's not how it works. CPS doesn't close, and neither do you, but that's neither here nor there." Luke takes the baby home to his thrilled mom, hoping it's Luke's secret love child. With grandma goals in her eyes, she agrees to take care of the baby and let the mom work out her issues.
Luke's got a baby.
I'm an uncle?
Congratulations.
Well, isn't this shaping up to be an unexpected Christmas?
She will call CPS if the mother doesn't return by Christmas. By Hallmark logic, that's responsible and a trope of a Christmas Eve deadline. Watching Barbara take care of the baby isn't that exciting, nor does it fit the title of the movie. She receives a call that Aunt Louise has fallen and can't get up.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
She heads to Louise's side, leaving the three wise men to take care of their baby, Thomas. Taylor takes the first shift. He attempts to bond with Thomas via video games and magic tricks. Shockingly, babies aren't into Call of Duty, but they do need food and they like to poop. Renting a wagon from a neighborhood kid for $50.
How would you like to get on Santa's nice list by lending me that wagon?
Sure. $50.
That's good. That's good.
Taylor walks to the store, heading into the baby aisle, where a woman points out that the baby needs to be changed.
I think he needs a little diaper change.
Little? We may have to evacuate the store.
Stephen returns home, opens the refrigerator, and we get the first gratuitous product placement of Daisy Sour Cream. Not wanting a dollop, he closes the fridge to find Taylor sitting in the chair with the baby and the diapers all over the floor. Stephen says he looks possessed, but honestly, we would all take looking like a possessed Tyler Hynes any day of the week. It's Stephen's turn to take care of Thomas, and he decides to make life more complicated by baking Christmas cookies with an infant. The cookies burn, and the baby poops again.
Oh.
They head back to the store because Taylor bought adult diapers. They see a display for baby's first ornament. Feeling a bit paternal, they make a footprint ornament when Fiona approaches and is confused about why Taylor has a baby. He tells her it's not his, and he's not sure who the baby belongs to. Fiona points out that there are laws to prevent that.
She's so cool. Remind me why you dumped her again? I didn't. Yeah, that makes sense.
Barbara updates the brothers to say that she needs to stay with Louise and is not coming home.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
Path is closed, so I'm stuck here too.
She tells Louise that she hopes that taking care of the baby may bring the brothers back together when she reveals that their father, Gary, is not dead, but left when they were young. Taylor and Stephen struggle to put together a baby swing while Thomas sleeps, until Luke comes home and wakes him up. It's Luke's turn to care for the baby, all while baking Christmas cookies after his workout, changing diapers, feeding the baby, and even finishing building the swing. What a guy. He takes Thomas to the store where kids are beating up on the inflatables while Luke collects donations for the Firehouse's children's fundraiser. He places the baby in the car seat covered by a red blanket, as does another woman who also has her baby covered up by a red blanket. What are the odds? Looking at the kids beating up the inflatables, Luke snarks that people need to keep an eye on their kids, and then proceeds to grab the wrong car seat and the wrong baby. Luke returns home where Stephen discovers that the baby in the seat is not Thomas. No worries though, because all of that is resolved after a quick commercial break where the police arrive and the babies are exchanged. No harm, no foul.
Could have happened to anyone, right?
No, this is a first.
Tensions begin to rise, and Taylor is upset that Luke was so careless with Thomas. He begins to struggle with Luke knocking over Mom's favorite snowman decoration. Stephen, angry with his brothers, points out that the baby has nobody on Christmas. He needs them, and none of them have done a good job.
Look at this guy. Look at this baby. He's all alone. He's got nobody on Christmas.
They head to the local Christmas festival to replace the snowman statue, where they discover that the ice skating rink is still there. However, I wouldn't call it so much as an ice skating rink as it is a tiny little enclosed room. Taylor runs into Fiona, who was going to go skating, but she forgot her gloves. Taylor, always a gentleman, gives her his. Why does she need gloves for an indoor ice skating rink? Who cares? They discuss their relationship, where it's clear Taylor was the problem. In his hand is a drink that I assume is cocoa. The brothers look over at Santa, reminding them of a Christmas memory when they took a photo with the big man. Deciding to reenact this memory, they buy elf costumes and walk the red carpet in slow motion, of course. They take numerous pictures with Santa while Tyler sucks on a candy cane, looking cool AF. The next day, they decide to give their mother what she wants, to decorate the house. Up first, they go pick out a Christmas tree. That gives Luke a Christmas memory about the time that they made Taylor wear a fake Christmas tree for Halloween.
You guys remember that fake tree Mom used to haul out every year? And the time we made Taylor wear it for Halloween?
That was also the year that Dad left. Womp womp.
It was Dad.
It was Mom.
No, it was
It
Dad.
was the year he left. It was Mom.
Up next, the brothers put up the outside lights, with Mark, the neighbor, making fun of them for how sad their display looked. Mark points out that the past 3 years he's won the local Christmas decorating contest. He tells them about the contest where they pick 5 houses to decide who's the most festive. This year, the prize is a cruise. A Hallmark cruise, I'm sure. They decide to enter the contest and win the cruise for their mom. They make a plan on how they will decorate with a theme. Taylor proposes a medieval Christmas since he already owns the armor. Fiona stops by to return Taylor's glove, which interrupts his battle for Middle-earth. He tells her about the contest and she volunteers to write software for the lighting display. Susie also arrives and they decorate the noble fir tree. When Susie puts food in the fridge, we get a possible food safety violation and another gratuitous product placement of, you guessed it, Daisy sour cream just sitting out on the counter.
2, 1. Let the celebration commence!
After a personal tree lighting ceremony, the brothers begin to perform the iconic dance to the Nutcracker theme. The dance that Paul, Andrew, and Tyler are probably sick of performing at this point, but will still ask them to perform it every time they're together for the rest of time. Luke, still having the Christmas spirit, helps decorate the firehouse, hanging a star in the fire hall. A young boy named Adam appears, staring at a photo of his deceased firefighter father. Luke recognizes him, talks to the boy, and offers him some Christmas cookies. Talking to the young boy keeps Luke from showing up to help Taylor and Stephen buy a life-size nativity set. This angers Taylor, bringing back old wounds from when their dad left. Luke is tired of being the responsible one and reminds him of how much he did for them and their mom when Dad left.
For Mom, for you, for the community, for this baby. The only one I don't show up for is me.
Taylor walks away. Traditionally in Hallmark movies, this is the moment when the romantic couple hits a roadblock. But Taylor and Luke give us the third act misunderstanding. Stephen notices a rash on Thomas's chest, taking him to the emergency room. He messages Luke, who is attending the First Responders Children's Foundation Christmas fundraiser, long name, let's shorten it next time. And he also texts Taylor to meet them at the hospital. At the hospital, the brothers are all waiting to hear how Thomas is doing when the doctor, played by Kimberly Sustad, in a surprise cameo, a Hallmark star, gives them the news. She tells them it's bad news. Thomas needs a diaper change. But the good news is that the rash is caused by teething. She makes a joke about 3 grown men and a baby and how you can't write this stuff. But that's the joke because she's one of the writers. They do write this stuff. I love the puns. At home, they apologize to each other and begin to work on winning the lighting contest. Their neighbor Mark notices the decorations across the street and begins to add more to his house, fearing their competition. Susie brings the costumes while Fiona is coding the lighting display. The local news is covering the Christmas competition where Mark shows off the display when suddenly the fire trucks arrive. The light show begins with them dressed as the 3 wise men and Susie as Mary and Thomas as baby Jesus.
We are the 3 wise men who have come to visit Mother Mary and
Joseph. It's Joseph. I got you.
Joseph.
The lights blow a breaker and everything goes dark. Breaking the silence, Stephen straps forward and makes an awkward speech.
And we have come to Bethlehem from afar, under the light of this star.
Suddenly, it begins to snow. Their mom, Barbara, shows up, and everybody sings Silent Night, which I count as a caroling trope. Fiona resets the jumped breaker, restoring the power, but Mark still ends up winning the contest, and he invites them over for eggnog. Thomas's mother, with a clearer head, shows up, ready to take her baby back. She explains that life was chaotic, and she just needed to get away and sort her brain out. Luke, who doesn't recognize her, asked why she left the baby with him. She recounted that Luke helped her when she went into labor. With no family, she felt like Luke was a safe option. Luke remembers her and tells her that she's so brave and that all is forgiven and CPS doesn't need to know. Merry Christmas. On Christmas morning, the brothers gift a photo of them dressed like elves visiting Santa for Barbara. For her, the fact that her children are getting along is the only gift she needs. Except maybe moving out, maybe some grandchildren, whatever. She's feeling very blessed and she gets emotional and she hugs her boys. Fast forward a year, Steven is with Susie, Fiona and Taylor are together for now, and Luke is now in a relationship with Thomas's mother, Sophie. They all enjoy Christmas in Luke's home, including their neighbor Mark. The boys dance to the Nutcracker suite one more time, with a pretty lackluster kiss by Andrew Walker at the end. So how many tropes were in Three Wise Men and a Baby? Joe, let's count them out.
Thanks, Bran. You did it. Looking at the numbers, a film where a single mother abandons her baby with a man she really doesn't know, who lives with his mom and his two brothers, decides to take care of the baby instead of calling CPS, kidnap another woman's baby, leaves the sour cream out on the counter, visits Santa dressed as elves, and dances to the Nutcracker, fails to win a lighting contest, and all three brothers fall in love at the end until the sequel. If we add up the different categories, Three Wise Men and a Baby has a total of 34 tropes. The fact that Hallmark approved a movie featuring three of their top male leads, Paul Campbell, Andrew Walker, and Tyler Hynes, was a very different direction that ultimately paid off. Tied in with a reference to the classic 80s movie with a similar name, and it's a no-brainer as to why this movie was so successful. Paul Campbell and Kimberly Sustad wrote a fun story playing on the actors' strengths and relationships with each other. The film is funny, heartwarming, and believable, especially since Paul, Andrew, and Tyler play three brothers who look nothing alike. Compared to older Hallmark movies, the traditional tropes that we usually see in these films don't exist. We get a numerous Christmas memories and two gratuitous product placements of rotting dairy, and shockingly, a very lame kiss at the end. So, did I miss any tropes? If so, tell me in the comments below. Three Wise Men and a Baby has 34 tropes, placing it in below in a tie with My Christmas Family Tree. If you haven't checked those episodes out, then what are you waiting for? Will the next film rack higher? Well, we'll see, with the next trope count featuring Ashley Newbrough, Christopher Palaha, and Small Town Christmas from 2018. How will that movie rank? Well, click on that subscribe button to be alerted when that episode is released if you want to find out. Bran, this was a lot of fun. Thanks for the synopsis. Where can people find you?
Joe, this was a thrill. Big fan of the channel. Big fan of you as a human being. And people can find me on multiple shows, including Deck the Hallmark and Christmas Morning, and a ton of other things that you might like. And you can listen to our buddy Joe on an episode of The Dish List that came out earlier this year, where he talks about his favorite 80s toys. Thanks, Joe.
Well, that was Bran from Deck the Hallmark, and I'm the Christmas aficionado. And remember, stay off the naughty list.
Lucas James Brenner, you are.
Coming, Mom!
Mom, you're too good to me.
Is that the one my mom gave you for Christmas?
My mom's calling me. Ah! I'll be up in 5!
Enjoy, Mom.
I mean, some people might actually be excited about it.
Mom. Thank you, Mom. Thanks, Mom.
Mom, help. He's so little. His mom trusted him with you. Single mom of 3 young sons. And then if Mom doesn't come back, as promised, if it happens to one, it happens to us all.
Ah. You gotta go, Mom. Love you, Mom.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye, Mom. Bye, Bye, Mom.
Mom said.
Okay, Mommy dearest.
Ma, hi. Is that Mom? Where's Mom?
Still, and my mom is always telling me to be quiet.
It could be very traumatic for babies to hear Mom and Dad argue.
Mom's favorite decoration.
Hi, Mom! Hi, Mom. Oh, hey, Mom. Mom, so, how are the roads?
Yep. We're here, Mom. Mom, no, Mom. Love you, Mom.
Bye, Mom. Love you.
Starting tomorrow, until Mom gets back.
Mom still talks about that day.
Mom's hustling us along, too.
How did Mom even do it?
What do you say we finally give Mom the Christmas she deserves?
You guys remember that fake tree Mom used to haul out every year? Mom pulling it up that Christmas? It was Mom. It was Mom. You know who's never been on a cruise before? Mom.
My mom has one.
I don't like my mom's new boyfriend.
Who did Mom rely on to pick up the groceries? You packed your lunch when Mom was underwater.
for Mom.
This whole thing was supposed to be for your mom.
You get the best mom.
Yeah, true.
I'm doing this for your mom.
Mom? Well, I'll just have to have you back, Mom.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Mom.